Let's get this thing started. What's happening? It's Nazzy from 105.5 WJYY. Welcome to my inspiration segment. And this is when I talk to people across the community who are doing something to help the lives of others, doing things to help people to change lives and inspire. And joining me right now, Miss Kara LaMarche. Kara LaMarche, right? How do we say it?
LaMarche.
I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Kara LaMarche. And Kara, we're here today to talk about Connor's Climb. Now, before we get into the 5K that's coming up very soon, please tell us Connor's story.
Sure. So Connor was a Exeter High School sophomore or freshman, sorry. And back in 2011, tragically, he took his life. He was a kid who seemed to have it all from a wonderful family, loving family, played sports, outgoing, but tragically just, the signs were missed. So Connor's Climb was formed in an effort to help others not go through the same tragedy.
All right. Now you didn't personally know Connor. How did you become part of the foundation?
Sure. So our executive director, her name is Candace Porter, and she's just a tremendous advocate. And we just happen to have mutual friends. And what happened was, we were on a walk and she was telling me about her job and how, suicide is the second leading cause of death for adolescents aged 10 to 24. And that just hit me. I've always been a very open person about mental health and advocating for therapy and mental health. But that number I just found so staggering and really felt compelled to do something about it. And so now I've been with Connor's Climb for about 2 years, and my whole soul is in it. I love it.
And let me tell you, I'm right next to you on that one, sister. I'm a huge advocate of mental health, and not just mental health, men getting help, because I think the whole macho man thing, guys have feelings too. You know what I mean? And I think it is okay for a man to talk to a specialist. I have a counselor that I speak to once a month. And I can always tell when it's getting to be that time because I feel it,
Absolutely.
and
good for you.
Yeah. And I'm a very big advocate of that. And now hearing this story, hearing what's going on with Connor, hearing that statistic that you just said, that's scary. I have an 11-year-old son. I'm a scout leader. Yeah. I mean, I'm a scout leader of a bunch of young boys that are in this age and demographic. That's why I think what we're doing today, spreading awareness, is so very, very important.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I have 2 young boys as well, 11 and 12, almost 13. And that was another reason for me getting involved, just getting educated on what to look for, the warning signs, the risk factors, and precipitating events. That's sort of the trifecta that we talk about in our trainings, and just educating as many people, screaming it from the rooftops.
Yes.
And also, it doesn't have to be this doom and gloom conversation. You say the word suicide, and of course there's a stigma attached. I'm actually wearing a shirt that says "Stick it to stigma." That's one of our mottos. And so, we really want to engage people in conversations about it so that we can dive a little bit deeper and, talk about mental health. And it's one of the few benefits of this whole pandemic has been the fact that mental health has really risen to the surface in terms of opening conversations.
Yeah, it's so important. Now, we do have 2 special guests joining us today. So, Kara, why don't you introduce these 2 young ladies who actually, tell you what, before you introduce them, the ladies knew I was going to do this. Before you introduce these ladies, let's see if we can learn a little bit more about the event that's coming up.
The annual Connor's Climb Foundation 5K and Family Walk is coming up soon on Sunday, September 26th at the Seco School of Technology in Exeter, New Hampshire. Kid Governor Charlie Olson will announce the start of the race at 9 a.m.
Connor's Climb is a nonprofit foundation that provides life-saving suicide prevention programs to schools and communities of New Hampshire.
Register at connorsclimb.org/2021-5K by August 25th to guarantee your free race shirt. Join us and support youth mental health.
I feel like I'm in the presence of celebrities here. I mean, ladies, can I get your autograph? That was amazing. Well done, ladies.
Thanks.
We've got Lena and Kylie. Now, ladies, what school do you go to?
Bedford High School.
You go to Bedford High, and obviously you're the the voice of the public service announcement that's running right now. Tell us a little bit about what it means to be an ambassador to this amazing event coming up this Sunday.
Well, when Miss Kara first asked us, we were kind of honored to be asked to do it because it is a really sensitive subject for people I know our age to talk about. And it's just really important to like get the message out there and make sure everyone knows that there are people here to help them. So we feel really special to be like a part of that. If anyone needs like help to like, they can come to us.
Yeah. Lena's nodding her head. Lena, did you want to add anything to that?
No,
Lana.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, she agrees.
You messed up her name too, Nazzy. Come on.
Lana. Lana. Oh, Lana. Listen, I can play music really well. Names, they don't come out to them. I got Kylie's name right though. You know what I mean? I did get her name right. Ladies, let me ask you this. This event coming up this Sunday, obviously you're going to be there. How important is it to you and to your friends to be part of this amazing event that's happening this weekend?
It's definitely super important, and it's exciting to be like running and spending time with kids who need help or are here to support other people. And it not only is it going to be super fun, but it's just a great experience and supports youth mental health.
I agree. Kylie, go ahead.
I agree. Like, it's so fun to like be around all these like young people that like know what suicide is, and like they know that like people are there to help them if they ever do need help. So it's really just like a great experience seeing everyone just like come together.
Somebody's trying to call me. No, I'm busy right now. That's really true. Now let me ask. This is a question for any one of you ladies. You know, we mentioned, Kara, in the beginning, you mentioned that some of the signs were missed when it came to Connor. What are some of the signs? And hopefully somebody watching this right now will be like, hey, wait a minute. You know what? My 13-year-old daughter does that, or my son does that. So let's start with Lena, and we'll go right over to Kylie and right to Kara. What are some of the signs that we should be watching out for?
Well, depression is obviously one. Maybe jokes about suicide. Like, you can't take them a certain way because people can be sarcastic, but inside it can really mean something true. Stress, lots of stress can lead to suicide. And it's just like, if you see something, you just need to say something, even if it's small.
That's important. You see something, say something. Kaylee, go ahead. Kylie.
I agree. Really, if like you can kind of tell when your kid is depressed, if you want to say, like they'll usually hang their head a lot and they won't look very happy, and they'll usually stay in their room. But also I think that cyberbullying is one of like the big things, because everything does happen a lot over the screen.
You know, it's that, and that bell means that's correct. That does mean, and you are correct though. I mean, and honestly, like and I'm not calling us old, but when Kara and I were younger, we didn't have cyberbullying. If somebody was going to be bullied, it happened in the schoolyard. And a lot of times there would be an administrator there. There'd be a teacher there, somebody that could stop it. But now you're on your phone and your parents aren't there. The administrator isn't there. So the help isn't as readily available. And cyberbullying really is a serious issue.
Absolutely. You know? So going back to your question too about the warning signs, I mean, that's, you know, so the three things that I talked about earlier, the warning signs, the risk factors, and precipitating events, those are really, those three things together are what we worry about in terms of leading a child or youth to suicide. So warning signs are typically things, those are the things that you can see and you can hear. Risk factors are going to be some of the other things, like Lana mentioned, depression. Kylie mentioned a warning sign, which is, you know, maybe they stay in their room, and a change of appearance. And then precipitating factors are typically those things that are the tipping point. So it's like that match that lights the fire that takes them, you know, it could be something as small as a breakup or a bad grade. And it just takes them from, you know, all of those things put together will lead to suicide. We always want to underscore the fact that no one event leads to suicide. There's typically always some underlying condition or situation that's happening. And, you know, with regards to cyberbullying, that's often one that, will get picked up in the media and run with. So, oh, bullying caused this child's death, but it's really a lot more than that. It certainly contributes, but we need to remember that it's really a much bigger puzzle than that. And we, use the Rubik's Cube as an analogy. There's a multitude of different things that could be happening with a lot of kids at one time. But all it takes is just that perfect confluence of events to really create that issue that makes the child take their life.
Yeah. And you know what? And ladies, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kara.
No, I was just going to say, and if you want the full list of warning signs or signs of suicide, we do, if you follow us at Connors Climb, we just posted just the other day, changes in speech, behavior, and things like that. So just on our social media at Connors Climb, we are always trying to post, some inspirational things, helpful knowledge, present our events and our trainings and things like that.
All right. So I do have the website up right now. And this is, of course, the 5K and the family walk that's coming up this Sunday, 9 a.m. And registration is right here. This is great. You even have the map. I mean, you've got the whole thing, so you can see exactly where we're going to be walking, and it's just going to be an amazing time.
And I do have to can I give a quick shout out to if you scroll down,
I'm checking the Stick It to Stigma. I'm going to be grabbing.
Oh yeah, get some gear too. Absolutely, gear up. We have had the most amazing group of sponsors this year. So back on the race page, we just, including your parent company, Binnie Media, we've just had so many wonderful organizations, from, the Nashua Patrolmen's Charities to Exeter area new car dealers. I mean, the list goes on. Flight Coffee here in Bedford, Dovetail Dental, and Amherst. We've just really been truly blessed with so many sponsors this year. It's the most, I think it's the most sponsors we've ever had. Clearly, like I said, mental health with the pandemic has really become an issue, that's much more open than any other time in history, for sure.
This is amazing.
And one of the reasons why we wanted to get, Lana and Kylie to join us, the reason why, we asked them, number one, they're, our families have been friends for years. And I really, love these two girls like they're my own. And so being able to share a message with, these two really just lovely humans has been very special for me too. And then, having them be able to help themselves and help their friends, their family, if they're ever in trouble. It's just a lot of fun.
Ladies, how does that make you feel, what Kara just said about you? How does that make you guys feel?
Great. We love Kara. Yeah.
It's a sisterhood, I think. It's a sisterhood. Now, one thing else I want to talk about too, I wanted to mention this, and Kara, you were mentioning this before we started the broadcast. The education, not only with this walk and helping, teens like these two young ladies, but we're also starting to help the teachers. So teachers can notice the signs, and a lot of times it might just be the teacher that is that last line of defense that might help the students. So talk a little bit about that, if you could, for a second, Kara.
Yeah, absolutely. So in New Hampshire, Connors Climb was actually instrumental in helping push forward the legislation that went into effect last July, which is it's Law 193-J. And that legislation requires all teachers in New Hampshire, public school teachers, from the grades of 5 through 12 to be trained in suicide prevention annually, at least 2 hours annually. So we do that training for free. We offer it to anyone and everyone for free. We rely on this big 5K as well as grants to fund the ability to do this, because really what we want to do is take the cost as a barrier away from any school. We don't want school budgets have to worry about inserting a line item for suicide prevention, right? So we get rid of that. We also have recently just started doing a lot of trainings with coaches. So Seacoast United is a tremendous organization on the Seacoast, as well as in Bedford. They're also in Massachusetts and Maine. and we trained all of their full-time coaches and staff, and they were absolutely wonderful. We also trained the Exeter Seahawks youth football program, and I'm reaching out to a lot of other organizations as well, and I'm hopeful that that will catch on as a trend as well for coaches, because just like teachers, they're an extension of the home, and as Lana and Kylie will attest, these two from here are going to soccer practice, and soccer. Which sport is it today, right? Yeah, soccer. So we want to make sure, a lot of those coaches are teachers, which is great. But we want to make sure that the ones that aren't also get trained in suicide prevention. The other piece is the peer-to-peer piece, which we do also provide scholarships for what's called the SOS program. And that's a program that can be implemented in schools to satisfy the student piece of the legislation, where the students are getting an understanding. And there's, NAMI is another organization, the AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They also have programs as well. And so we all just rely on one another as partners in prevention to provide these different tools for schools to choose from, to be able to get that message across to teachers and to their students.
If you just save one life with all of this new legislation and all this new training, you've done your job. I mean, if you've helped one person, one teen make it through and realize that it's going to be okay, you've done your job. And that's why I think this is so very important. Ladies, I know you got to get off to soccer practice. What positions do you play? Go quick.
Defense, offense.
D and offense. All right, ladies, a teen thinking about going to this walk this Sunday, this 5K, what would you like to say to convince them to change their mind to be there this Sunday?
It's going to be fun. There's going to be lots of people there, all kind of in the same boat, all under the stress from school and family and sports and everything they do. And so just kind of be a break for everyone to kind of collaborate and join together. Just have a nice Sunday.
Go ahead, Kylie.
I agree with what she's saying.
That's awesome. Kara, what were you just holding up? What was that badge?
I was just holding up a sticker. So there'll be, stickers and all sorts of free stuff from our, sponsors and our organization sponsors, or just our partners in prevention. We've got other organizations that'll be there to really, share in the community aspect, and not just the Exeter area, but really the entire state, and just all of us, thinking of each other as community members that are all in this together and all trying to, help these kids. I mean, they're just growing up in a much different time than we did, as you said, Nazzy. We're not old, but it was definitely very different when we were in high school, and the pressure that these kids face in terms of academics, school, sports, all of the different obligations that they have. It's a lot more than we had to deal with. And the, social media aspect and electronic aspect really just adds to, takes everything to a much bigger level. So
let me just say, though, after talking to these two young ladies, I feel a lot better about my son and what he's going through, to know that there are good people like these two girls right here. And I want to thank you guys for what you're doing and just everything you said. As a parent, it makes me feel better to know that there are some peers for my son that have the right advice, that have the right idea, that are there to help, to lend a hand. So I just want to say thank you. And we need more girls like this out there, and we can prevent this. We can.
And ladies, do you remember the ACT message?
Acknowledge, care, tell.
Acknowledge, care, tell. You got it.
So what is it? What is it? What is it?
ACT. So acknowledge, care, tell. Acknowledge that your friend is in trouble. Let them know you care, and then tell someone. And I will tell you that these ladies have done just that. I won't share the story because we want to be mindful of people's privacy. But when I first just asked the girls, they told me a story, and I not to sound, too dramatic, but I was brought to tears because I was like, you guys acted and you didn't even know that that's what, you were supposed to do. And it was really, really just made me realize that I had chosen the right girls for the job. So
yes, you did. You picked the right ambassadors. Ladies, well done. Well, I'm giving you a like. Hold on. There, see, you got to speak in their language, Kara. Okay, that's it. I'm giving you a like and a follow. There, see, she's excited. She likes that. All right, remember, the event is coming up this Sunday, the 26th. Details scrolling across the bottom. ConnorsClimb.org. All the information is there. You can register, and you'll be able to see these two young ladies and share some wonderful stories. And we can make a difference. We can help out a teen. Guys, thank you so much. I'll let you go off to practice. Kara, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nazzy, for having us. This was great. We so appreciate it.
Keep on inspiring.